Okay, so today we're going to take a look at how to do ruts in a mech simulator. And this particular tutorial is going to be how to make ruts more realistic, and that is completely to my own opinion. Your opinion may differ very much from mine. Looking at my last tutorial, the ruts just weren't very good. They were big and overscaled. So today I'm going to show you how, in my opinion, you can make smaller and more realistic ruts. So starting off, we will be working with the strength minus 0.75, and the actual radius will be around 3 feet to start with. Focus will be set at 0. So first up, we can drag this a few times in a rut here. Once, twice, 3 times. We can see that there is at least something here. I'm going to go to lower, make it a tiny bit bigger. Start a little bit before and a little bit after. Not much. You can see that something is happening. I'm going to lower to 2.3. 2.3-ish. It's good enough. Raise. Paint on top of what I just painted. Can look in game, looks good. And then we go down to around 1.5 to 1.7. Paint a few more times on top of the berm. Rut, my bad. And that will give it a nice sharp edge here, as you can see. And I won't say that this rut is perfect in any way, but it's at least more realistic, and it's not very big either, so you might want to either just realize that that's the way it's gotta be, or you can keep doing changes to make the rut a little bit bigger. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's good enough, and it's way smaller and way better than last time I did ruts. I can make another one here, and I'm going to make this even smaller just for a comparison. I'm going to start with 2.39. Start with going down in the ground. And if you haven't really thought about it, ruts in real life usually digs into the ground, while in sim they stay on top of the ground. And that's something I generally don't like, is that ruts are more like berms in this game. So you sort of have to prevent that in some way. And this time I use a smaller to start with, smaller number. Then I go back to the really small one on top here a few times. And I mean, I think this rut looks quite realistic compared to many others in MX Sim here. These ruts are obviously not for going wide open or railing, but take more precision to actually do and complete. And since I put it so close to the other one, you obviously can't lay your bike over as much as you might want to. But that's one more way how to do ruts here. And I think it's pretty good. If you, for example, start a bit into a turn, I usually like to go back to around 3. Paint a few times just to get some height on it, just to get something. Then we are going to go lower, paint some time, around 2 to get some more sharpness. and finally around 1.5 to gain the real sharpness of this. Looks pretty good. Could be a little bit higher. Just going to go back to 3. Paint a few more times here. Can go a little bit bigger as well if you want to have it as a very big rut. Going to go over actually a few more times, increasing the size. You can see that it is quite a big rut compared to the other ones, and it's more of a berm-ish shape of it. We can also do quite a big number, around 4. Paint a few times in the rut. One or two times, just smaller. And this rut will be good because the edge here and the sort of dig into the ground part of the rut is not very steep, which means that if you would like to exit this rut like this, the dig into the ground part will not prevent you from doing so, because a lot of ruts you see is made in this way. I'm just going to move up a gradient to explain. You cannot really exit those ruts whenever you want to, because they're constructed in a way that won't really allow that, like this. And you'll see why in a second here when I've painted the rut. This is not the way to do ruts properly, I do know. But if you see here, when you come into a rut and if you lower it too much, you won't really be able to exit out of the rut whenever you want to. That can be nice both for competitive reasons, such as you want to square up a turn, or you just get sideways. So note that you might not want to close the rider too much into the rut, as in real life you usually can exit a rut, even that, or if that can be hard. So think of that before you make the rut, if you want to give the rider the opportunity to exit the rut whenever he wants to, or if you're going to lock him into the rut until the rut is over. I am going to make a second part of this called How to Make Ruts Competitive, which I'm actually going to film right away, but it's going to be another part here where I show you what you can do in order to make the outside ruts as competitive as the inside ones, as the inside ones are usually the preferred lines. So check out that video as well. Have a great day and see you in my next video.